Hi, so in this video we are going to see about financial environment. So under financial environment, the topics that we are going to discuss today are the basic introduction of what are all the components of financial environment. We are going to talk about banks, we are going to talk about stock exchanges, we are going to talk about non-banking financial companies in Indian perspective. So moving on to the introductory part for financial environment. So there are basically 4 components of financial environment. So the 4 components are financial institutions, financial market, financial instruments and financial services. So financial institutions basically comprises of banks, non-banking financial companies, etc. While financial market comprises of share market. Financial instruments are currency, shares and bonds, while financial services encompasses banking service, insurance service, wealth management service, etc. So let's now talk about the banks in India, the roles of banks in India. So before that, we should know the hierarchical structure of banking in India. So it's like this: the Reserve Bank of India is the head of all banking institutions in India. So RBI is the apex body, so under which we have two categories, which is commercial banks and cooperative banks. Under commercial banks, we have both public sector banks and private sector banks included. So public sector banks are those banks which are governed and which are owned by the government, while private sector banks where the ownership is in the hands of private partners. So this is with regard to the basic structure of banking. So now we are going to see about the role of Reserve Bank of India. So the Reserve Bank of India, as I already told you, is the head of all banking institutions. It is established in the year 1935, and the present governor of Reserve Bank of India is Shri Shaktikanta Das, and he is the 25th governor of RBI. So there are some basic unique functions of Reserve Bank of India that we are going to discuss now. So the first and foremost function is that it issues currency notes. So Reserve Bank of India has the sole authority of issuing currency notes, and it is the banker to banks and banker to government. Even if there is any financial need for banks or government, government or other banks is going to come to Reserve Bank of India for their money needs. It's head of financial system, meaning it acts as a supervisory function, and it formulates monetary policy, and finally it controls credit, meaning it makes sure that the demand and supply of money and the liquidity in the economy is like stable. So these are the main functions of the Reserve Bank of India. Moving on to the commercial banks. So the main functions of commercial banks is acceptance of deposit and providing of loans and advances to the business units or to the individuals. So these are the 2 primary functions of commercial banks. One is acceptance of deposit and the other one is providing of loans and advances. The other functions of commercial banks are periodic payments, providing overdraft facilities to business people, enabling transfer of funds, providing safe locker facility or being a safe custodian of assets, and it also provides functions like collection of checks, etc. So commercial banks in this way play an important role in Indian economy. Moving on to the next part of it, so financial system, the basic component is bank. The other basic component is, primary component is what we call it stock exchanges. So for commercial banks, the head of the institution is RBI. So for stock exchanges, the head of the stock exchanges is SEBI. SEBI, otherwise called as Securities and Exchange Board of India. So under this comes various stock exchanges. So SEBI is the head of all stock exchanges in India. It is the SEBI is established in the year 1992, and its headquarters is again in Mumbai. And the basic, when we talk about stock exchanges, the 2 important stock exchanges that are functioning in India are National Stock Exchange, which we call it as NSE, and Bombay Stock Exchange, which we call it as BSE. So what is a stock exchange? stock exchange is basically a place where shares, securities, bonds are traded, okay, or bought and sold by the people. Yeah. So moving on to the functions of SEBI. SEBI, the headquarters being at Mumbai. The major functions of SEBI are: it regulates securities market, it regulates stock exchanges, it regulates intermediaries, it regulates mutual funds. Why it need to regulate all this? Two main things. One, to protect the interest of the investors, and the second one, to prohibit any fraudulent activity that shall take place on stock exchanges. So I already told you, stock exchange is a place where the shares, securities, bonds are bought and sold. So it is a place where the business people would offer their shares for sale, and through which they are going to raise funds. So the basic function of stock exchanges are to help business units to raise capital. Yeah, and it also helps in mobilizing savings from people for investment purposes, and it facilitates in companies' growth. It also helps government to raise the capital, and it creates opportunities for small investors to make huge money, and finally it helps in economic growth of the country. So having talked about banks and having talked about stock exchanges, now we are going to see what is non-banking financial companies. So this is the other third important component in the financial environment. So non-banking financial companies constitutes two major categories. One is the development banks, and another one is insurance companies. So development banks are those banks which are gonna develop industries. Okay, so we have IFCI, IDBI, ICICI, NABARD, EXIM, SIDBI, SFC, SIDCO. So these are some of the examples of development banks that are functioning in India, which the main purpose of which is to provide long-term credit facilities for the development of industries in the country. And same is the case with the insurance companies. So we have two major insurance companies working in India. One is the Life Insurance Corporation, and the other one is General Insurance Corporation. So with regard to the non-banking financial companies, so the functions of a non-banking financial company is as such: it provides long-term credit facilities to industries, it helps in capital formation, it mobilizes funds from people and helps in investment purposes, it helps in generating employment opportunity, it attracts foreign grants, and finally the main purpose is to develop industries. Maybe it's a large scale industry, maybe it's a medium scale industry, maybe it may be a small scale industry, but the very aim of the non-banking financial companies are to develop industries in India. So with this, we have covered the financial environment. So the key takeaways of this session is that we talked about banks, we talked about stock exchanges, and we talked about non-banking financial companies. So when we talked about RBI, it is established on 1st April 1935 and the headquarters at Mumbai. The present RBI governor is Shri Shakti Kanta Das, and he is the 25th governor of RBI. So when we talked about SEBI, we told that it's established in the year 1992. It was on 12th April and its headquarters is at Mumbai. We talked about stock exchanges and its meaning, and stock exchanges, it could be a real place or it could be a virtual place of trading of shares, bonds and securities. And we talked about non-banking financial companies. The main aim is for industrial development. Hope you have had a better understanding. Our best wishes. Thank you so much.